What's up, y'all? We are live, and I'm in my kid's bedroom in the Sarasota spot, and the camera is on a gaming center. My microphone is not working, and my hair needs to be brushed because I got back from Pilates, and here we are. But you know what? We don't give a fuck here in Hot Moms because we don't need things to be perfect. We don't need our environment to be perfect because we are everything. We are the star of the show. Everything goes on inside of us, and it's okay, right? So we create our world. So we don't need everything to be perfect. Remember that. Anyway, today I am here and the construction guy is coming in. Probably it's when it does this barking, but it's cool. Michele's here today. Her story is ridiculously cool. She is down 20 pounds. She didn't actually even come to us for weight loss. She's down 20 pounds though. She's a supermodel, build 5'9", and she's a mom. She's actually a stay-at-home mom right now, but really she was an RN. Started a marketing business. It failed, found herself after her second, third pregnancy, just eating, trying to get that dopamine release. You know how we all do. We all fucking get depressed, man. Mine was wine, wine and just burying myself and everything. But she came in and we're going to hear from her today because her testimonial, it blew us all away because she was stealthy, man. She didn't even post in the group. We didn't even hear a peep from her. Never got on a call. And a lot of women always come in and say, well, do I have to get on the calls? Do I have to? I'm like, no, we have plenty of women, probably 60% of women that come in our program, they never get on a call and they don't post in the group. And then here Michele comes a year and a half later and just blew our socks off. And I there's so much wisdom in her transformation. I hope that, these nuggets flow. So I'm going to ask her some questions, but yeah, man, 13 inches down, 20 pounds down, 6 journals in. She's tapped into some magic. So thank you, Michele, for being here.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, I'm so excited. Yeah. And it's funny because, normally I say we don't work with stay-at-home moms because it's just, I was never a stay-at-home mom. I was a work from home mom. And I felt like it would be like, I didn't understand the language. Like, it's just like, how do I word this? Shared interests and like-minded people. And I felt like it would be just not aligned. Right. But we have so many stay-at-home moms that end up, they're really not a stay-at-home mom. What really happens is, like you said, you had a career, you had the kids, you stayed at home for a minute because you want to do your own thing, create that lifestyle, being with your kids. And then that failed. And then here we go. So tell us a little bit about what, and RN, you said you worked on the cardiac pre-surgery unit, right?
Yes.
That's cool. That's cool. Okay. And you're in Texas? Yeah.
Yes.
Which part?
In the northeast corner, just in Texarkana. It's like really close. We're on the border of Arkansas, basically.
Okay. All right, cool. And did you grow up there?
No, I'm from Michigan and not a fan of the cold. And my husband's job located us to San Antonio, and I just fell in love with Texas. And we've been here for 11, 12 years now, in Texas, at least.
I'm with you about the cold. I just, I can't explain what it does to me. Even in California, in Southern California, when it gets like in the 60s and shit, I'm like, I don't like this.
No.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah, I don't like this. Well, so tell me, do you remember, well, first of all, how long have you been in working with us?
It's been a little over a year now.
Beautiful. Oh, you didn't just get in for 6 weeks and fall off and say, fuck it?
No, that's what I've done with other things. But no, I just felt like I had to keep with this because it just, nothing had ever spoken to me just quite like, your message did. And I just had to be a part of it.
Oh, and that's who we like. We're getting to the point now. If you gotta be, you gotta be sold to get in the program. We're like, yeah, probably should start with pre-launch. Just, don't even bother looking at mastermind, but people like you're our people. And it's the soul calling. I think that we all know it's like, yep, this is where I'm supposed to be, Okay. So tell me and us, what were the main challenges? Do you remember specifically first what brought you in? Like what message of mine brought you in?
I remember a lot of the talking about being a victim and blaming everyone for, all the things that were going wrong, and, not even realizing that I had more power in my life than I was giving myself credit for. And so, there were a lot of things that you said, and I don't remember all of them, but that one stuck with me. And I just felt like I needed, if I wanted to make the biggest impact of my life, then getting out of this victim mentality where I get angry at everyone and I blame my kids and my husband and everyone around me for all my problems instead of taking ownership for them. Like that was huge for me.
Yeah. And it's being childlike. What happens is I was just like that. It's called adult children, where we need, if everybody else would just do their job, or if you would just do this, or if this was just happening, or if I was just skinny, or if your external environment was perfect, then you could be what you needed to be. And it's very childlike. And as an adult, it's codependency. Also it's a form of it, but and martyr and all that shit. But it's like you just don't know until you figure it out. You're kind of just caught in that trap. I was there. How do you think I fucking know how to teach y'all? I mean, that was me. So it sounds like that's why we connected, right?
Yeah.
Totally. Give us an example. Do you have just an example of like one little thing that used to happen in your life that would cause a fight or cause you to feel shitty?
My kids and the mess. I just I could not handle. I mean, I have a lot of kids and the mess is always going on. And, you think like, oh, I'm at home, I should like be able to keep the house clean. And I'm one of those me moms that give my kids responsibility. And so they either don't do their chore to like my standard or they just don't do it, or they forget, or they're busy or whatever. And I would just freak out and yell at them and just get so upset that like they're doing this to me. They are messing my life. They're making my life harder than it needs to be. Why are they just kind of like ruining my life in a way, and I didn't want to feel that way. I wanted to love them. And I know that they're not unique. I know all kids make messes. And I knew there was a better way that I could actually love my children and not always be mad at them and say, the only thing that I ever say to them is like, did you clean your room? Did you do your chore? I didn't want to be obsessed about that, but realizing that like, I actually can play a role in this clean house, and I don't have to be mad at everybody when I do it. Like I can actually be nice, and I can make it a game, and I can actually do a little more around here,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So it sounds like there was resentment.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's the cornerstone of most women. It's a wounded feminine energy. And I feel like I do, and I could be wrong, probably am, but I feel like it's part of the path. It's something, it's like we all have resentment and codependency, and it's finding your way out of that. And then you can reach some success, because I have felt the same way. I have felt literally the same way as you. I resented the hell out of pretty much anybody and everything. And it's almost like this entitlement,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And like, yeah, it's just funny to notice, like, how do I have such a high standard for everyone else, but not even for myself? Like, I wouldn't even see the little things I wasn't doing yet. I expected everyone to do everything so perfectly. And it was like, that's not realistic. And why am I so witchy to everybody all the time? It's not helpful.
Man, I know women right now are like, what the fuck? Tell me. They're wanting to know, like, what do you do? What's the magic sauce? And we're going to get there. Also, I noticed too, parents, they push their kids and everything and want them to excel, want the good grades. I'm like, you fucking can't even, you're not even doing that. You're bitching about 20 pounds. You can't stay on track. You're not focusing. You're expecting your kids to be like, I don't even get that. But it's the trap we fall into. It's this weird, like we should parenting. We turn into parents in our mind. It's like, I don't know. I get it. So I think all moms, we can relate. And if you can't, then fuck, give yourself a gold ticket. We're not even talking to you. So, okay. So you like the message, you felt, seen and heard. Did you have a physical goal or hormonal issue?
Well, I guess I should say, when I say I didn't join for the physical, I liked the idea of having I think it was just like an added bonus when I realized that you did fitness coaching too. I was like, wait, what? Like I could look like a model or something, I mean, and so just realizing that like I wanted to tone, and I wanted a booty, and I wanted, more muscles and stuff. And I wanted a flatter belly. And I thought, having a coach help me with that would really help. And so just having accountability has been really, really helpful. And so, yeah, it has been a goal, but it kind of like, I don't know if it makes sense. It was like, it just kind of moved down the priority list, and the other emotional things became more of a reason to join than the physical. But yeah, I don't have major health issues. Anything that's, I mean, I do have bloating, which is still it kind of bothers me, and it has improved quite a bit. But yeah, like I don't have major pain or like autoimmune conditions or female problems and stuff like that. So but I've always also eaten really healthy before. So that really helps too.
Yeah. And resentment, did you know this? It's one of the main emotions that causes cancer.
Oh yeah. I think
Yep.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Resentment and anger. So yeah, there's that. So it's cool. And how old are you?
I'm 38.
Bomb, bomb. How many kids do you have?
Oh wait, hold on. What year is it? Yeah, I'm 38. I
Okay.
forget.
Yeah, I'm the same one.
I have 5 kids.
Lord have mercy. Okay. So this is amazing. Like if she can do it, literally anybody can. Okay.
Yeah.
So the main challenges were the emotional. You came in for the emotion, which is not most women. And most women that may be watching this, like, well, I don't have that. I just have a physical goal. That's fine. It literally is all encompassing. So whatever. But you're a little different. Most women, I don't want to say they're in denial. They just aren't aware. They don't know that the emotional state creates the chemical response that creates the body. They think that they need to go after let me go do my hormones and the workouts and the diet versus changing my energy and thought process. So it sounds like you went backwards. Or not backwards. You went inside to get the outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I always like when I heard you talk about how you could heal yourself and you didn't even need to be on treatments for your hormone. Like you'd already healed them with healing your thoughts and your energy and everything. I just was blown away. Like if that's possible, like I'm sold. And I mean, my like adrenals aren't perfect, and the thyroid's not perfect, but it's decent enough. But it's like realizing that like, oh wow, I have some issues to heal behind that adrenal problem or behind that thyroid problem that I really do need to address, and I shouldn't ignore it. And I need to, it's not just about the supplements. That's all I've ever done is like take the supplement, take the food, eat the healthy food, whatever. And so realizing that it was more than that was just so exciting to me, to realize there was more to healing than just supplements and stuff.
I think there's a quote that's like, you can do all the yoga and eat the green smoothies, but if you don't fix what's going on inside, and even women will be like, oh, I do mindset stuff. I work with coaches. And I'm like, well, your adrenals say bullshit. The fact that you got all this healthy thing and you still have 20 pounds of stubborn fat, I call bullshit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And nobody's going to be perfect. And yes, I have a total hysterectomy and I used to be on all the shit and I'm on, I think just a very low dose of testosterone. I do as needed estrogen because I don't have any ovaries, but I used to take, when I had my female organs, I mean, I was on way more hormones, and it's just been like you're saying, it's addressing the nervous system and the emotional body, really. So cool, man. Okay. Out of all the programs that you've tried, and will you tell us a little bit about what you did try?
So I can't say I've tried a lot of programs, but I've just read self-help books all my life. Well, I guess I think I tried some rewiring. Oh, brain rewiring. DNRS. I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's like it rewires your limbic system. And I've tried just a lot of self-help. I've always been like a self-help junkie, book junkie. And so I'd always read something and like, what can I address? But then I couldn't always stick with it. And so I think part of what's another thing that you said that stuck out to me was like, do you want to know why you keep falling off? Like why you can't stay consistent? And it was like, yeah, that's me. I'll be really good, try a new habit or a new skill from a book I've read, and then I'm right back down to self-sabotage and procrastination and just major resistance. And I just couldn't understand why. And no one could ever answer that for me. And
Well,
so,
what was
yeah.
it? I'll say it's an addiction. It's an addictive behavior. It's a trauma response, but what would you say? Like what helped you? Because women are like, tell me what to do.
Really what has helped is clearing, like working on my emotions, like clearing some of those emotions that caused, or like the triggers that would happen in my life that would cause me to flip just go crazy and not understand why. And it was going through those triggers and changing them and neutralizing them, and so they wouldn't affect me the same way. They didn't it's like they held no power over me anymore. And so then it was like, and then like there was action steps that I needed to take in order to really fully process the emotion. And so making those steps of the emotion, it wasn't always like, boom, I've got it figured out after the first time I would work on the emotion, but I could tell that the emotion it didn't have such a pull on me anymore, or the trigger, I mean. And so, and then I would notice that maybe it would come up again, but it wasn't as strong as before. And so, just realizing that like the fear of doing something is, a lot of times why I would procrastinate something. And so if it wasn't such a big deal after all, then why not just do it now, And so I didn't have to keep procrastinating and just making those little baby steps. That was huge for me, because when I think about, I in the past have struggled with overwhelm. And so, yeah, it's very easy to look at your information and log in when you first get started and see all the videos and just be paralyzed in fear. Like, what do I do? How do I even go about this? And so just starting and doing one thing at a time, one video at a time, one journal prompt at a time, just one daily action, to make it so it's not so scary. And it's like, once you did it once, you're like, well, I can keep doing this, and there were times where I wasn't always like, oh, I got this habit. It's, I just started it and it's magically here. I had to fail a couple times, but I didn't let the failure mean anything about me, which I used to. I would let me quitting or something just mean that I was not good enough, like, well, see, there I am again, failing, and I keep going, shaming myself. And so I just was like, no, so what? I messed up. I'm going to just keep going and do it again. And it's not a big deal. I'm not going to make it mean anything. So.
What was there a specific course or that emotion wheel? You said journal prompts, like, is it the alchemy codes? What's course? Yeah, just give us a couple courses maybe that you really like. What's your favorite ones?
My favorite ones were Resilient AF, Clear My Shit, and Energy Codes. I could just I just had this thought, like I could just repeat those 3 courses like on a consistent basis, because every time I listen to them, I learned something more. I didn't even realize, and it's been a whole year and I just started again re-listening to some of them, and I'm like, I didn't remember that last time. It's just like new insights. And so yeah, like the journal, what is it, the neutralizers, what do you call them,
that thing I got from Whiting, neutralizers,
that is like, once you put that on an Excel spreadsheet and I could see it, I just I track it, and I just like track my progress, like how I rate my trigger, like I have everything there. I don't write in it like notes, like all the details. I'll do that in my journal, but I do at least like the basic idea of what the trigger is, and then I work on it when I feel prompted to because, and that's the other thing. I have so many that I've written that I just think, okay, like it's easy to just be overwhelmed. Like I have so much journaling to do because look at all these triggers, but it's like, I just literally like feel insight, like which one do I need to work on right now? Which one is going to be like the most helpful for me right now in this moment? And it's always like, it's exactly what I need when I start journaling. I mean, when I feel like the answer, what I need to do.
Yeah. I share everything that's helped me. And I know when I learned that from John Whiting had it in his program, I was like, this is a huge tool that I'm going to put into my program, because before we just had the emotion wheel and the alchemy codes and like how to reframe your brain. And I love this approach with the neutralizers. Now, have you found yourself, when you do a neutralizer, have you ever gone deeper on a soul level, like on those healing videos where you go in and you do like inner child retrievals or anything?
Yes. And you would talk about it in some of the videos, and I don't know if I like let it intimidate me, like, oh, I just don't know how I would even do it. But then I just got to this point in my journaling that I thought I need to dig deeper. Like and it just kept calling out to me, like, you need to do this, and I realized the reason I wasn't doing it was because I was resisting it, and I was just making it seem like it was so scary, and it really wasn't. And once I did it, I don't know if I've ever cried so much in my life. It's like every time I did one, the inner child soul retrieval work, it was, I guess part of it was what started me realizing that I needed to do it was when I would see me doing things to my kids, or I would have reactions to my kids. Like for example, my daughter started sports and she's really good at cross country and running and stuff. And I found myself really resistant to her, like doing any of her sports and like taking her to all the activities and all the meets and all the everything that I just let it overwhelm me. And then I really realized, like, why am I like this? And it hit me. It's because you didn't get that, Michele. Like nobody supported me as a child when I wanted to do sports, and my parents weren't in a place to be able to take me or help me or support me. And then also it was like, and I wasn't supporting I felt like half of it was my parents not supporting, and the other half was me being too scared to try something new. But I felt like I needed to go back and give myself what I didn't get, as a child, and give myself that support and that encouragement. And I just cry. Like it seems like such a little thing, a dumb thing, but I didn't even realize. And now it's like the resistance towards my kids and their sports and stuff doesn't feel like as intense as it used to be. And so that's how I know what I need to write on is the stuff that I resist doing for my own kids, because I didn't get it as a kid and I felt deprived, and I wished I had gotten some of the things that my kids have the privilege of getting now. And now I get to give it to them, but without so much resistance and anger and resentment.
I got chills when you're saying that, because I mean, I don't know if you know this, but you are a self-healer and a woman, and that's what women are. We can heal others, but we can heal ourselves. And so many women, like you're saying, is so intimidated by going there. But here's why. It's because when we have these things happen, because that's why these neutralizers are great, but it's very surface level still. It's like, oh, it's ego, right? It's like, oh yeah, I'm doing the work, but there's deeper work here, but I'm scared to go there because it is scary. And I describe it like this. You're in a dark room and lights are out and you see something and it's like your asshole draws up. It's almost like, that feeling if you think of robbers in your house, it's terror.
Mm-hmm.
But all of a sudden you realize there's a light switch. You flip it on real quick and realize it's your fucking dog coming over to lick you. That's how this work is. It's terrifying because you've got that little girl. She's locked up, baby. She was hurt and we're so sensitive. We're like, we're never going to feel this again. So to get to her, it's an honor to get to deeper parts of ourselves. And when you do, like you said, joy and bliss, and we get to enjoy our beautiful, perfect children. that we are also fucking perfect, you know, and then you can just really reparent yourself and give yourself what you never had, because like I always say, nobody's coming to save you. You're going to save yourself, you know, and it just sounds like that's what's happened to you. And it's fucking amazing. And I smell your business already. Like I know what you're going to do for your business. So,
Yeah, I know it's something healing and like health. I can't. Yeah.
we'll get you in the millionaire matrix. You'll be good. It's all coming forth. So just stay tuned, y'all. She'll have her own course real soon.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so what made you choose ours obviously was the emotional piece. The programs that were specific, you said you liked Energy Coach, which is interesting because a lot of people are scared of that one. They really are. Like yesterday when I enrolled a lady, I said, well, Energy Coach, you know, because it's some people that's religious, it really scares them because we say energy and then it goes deep. I mean, we go really deep in that. You gotta be able to really look at your shit with that one. But it's not like we're calling you out. It's education and it's enlightening, but it's a scarier course. Like Resilient as Fuck, that one's everybody's favorite. That course is so good for like helping you feel like you're not fucked up and that there's a way out and like self-esteem. But like Energy Codes, the fact that you like that one shows me how deep you are, you know. So that's interesting. Okay, how has your life changed? I know beyond like your mother game's probably off the charts, but how would some other aspects of your life that's changed, you know, because I mean your body shifted so much. Do you mind if we share, like do you want us to share that or no?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I can do it. I don't know if I can share screen. Can I share screen?
The old me would not have been okay with it.
You know, and here's the deal. If you want the business, you know, you sharing this frees so many women, you know, me sharing all my stuff. This is her starting. Where is it? I mean, look at this right here. I love your journal picture. Look at your ass, like your ass here. Like, look at the love handle area. What?
Yeah. I forgot to post the side view and which is disappointing because the side view is actually the most impressive change in my opinion, but
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I love it. And it's the changes that you've made. Let's stop share. The changes that you made are here to stay. So that's what I love about this work is you can't go back because you don't go backwards. Once you clear this shit, you don't need to. The lesson has been learned. So I love that part. Let's see. There was a question here. And why do you think it has been so effective?
The course or the work?
Yeah, the work, because women would say, you know, it's a lot of money. I mean, it's thousands of dollars to do mastermind. I mean, we have payments, but still it's thousands of dollars. So, you know, they worry like, well, is it going to work? And what if it's just like everything else? Like, why do you think it is so effective?
I feel like helping people, I don't know, it sounds cliche, but like in a sense, like helping people or myself just wake up to like the misery of a life that I was living in a way. I mean, it wasn't that miserable, but
You weren't happy.
Yeah. And you know, I could be fake happy with my, you know, food and my, you know, all the social media and, you know, numb out to everything. But to be really called out on my crap, like nobody's ever done that before. And so, you know, it's like, why, if you know that you're like messing up, like, wouldn't you want to be told? And I get it. Like, I'm super prideful. I've never loved being told what I'm doing is wrong, you know, but the way you say it and the way, the stories that you would tell, like, you know, even though I don't have the exact same life experiences, I mean, I felt like, I could just relate or, you know, other people that have spoken in the group that I can still insert myself, even though the exact same circumstances aren't there. But I've just, you know, to see, just to see the change in myself. Like I normally, like you said, like I don't like posting and I do, and I need help or whatever, but like, I've never been one to just share. And I just kept feeling like I've got to say something because coming out of, you know, posting, it was kind of a way to like get myself out of my comfort zone. And I feel like that's what the whole group is, or the whole program has helped me do, is just like get out of your comfort zone. When you're always comfortable, you're not progressing, you're not doing anything productive in your life when you're always just, you know, being comfortable. And so pushing me out of being comfortable, like just being uncomfortable, which I know doesn't sound like terribly exciting, but like for me, just realizing that I had, you know, if I was unhappy, it wasn't because of everyone around me, and that the layers of like trauma deep down in us, like I had no idea that our bodies will hold on to all that, like physically, like, and so just being able to get rid of all of those things that I never knew impacted me as a kid, as a child. And
what's an example? Sorry to interrupt you, because women think that they think trauma is, oh, I was never like physically molested, I'm good. I'm like, honey, it's like what didn't happen. So can you give us like one? It doesn't have to be big, just anything you feel comfortable with. Like what were you aware of that you're like, holy shit, this really affected me?
Probably my so like my parents, my dad was very verbally abusive, very shame critical, very yelling all the time. And so I always knew, like I was always consciously aware that that was, you know, that influenced me to some degree, but not. But then when I realized my mom, who was very sick, and she became, I mean, my mom and I have a good relationship where my parents are divorced, and she's like, I know that being married to my dad caused a lot of her health issues, but she got real sick where she couldn't do anything. And she was not emotionally there for me or physically. Like she just stayed in her room and cried. She had postpartum depression, but then she found out she had like a tumor in her brain, and later, like 10 years down the road. So yeah, like after my sister was born, I basically like raised my sister, and I would do like the cooking and the cleaning. I was cooking breakfast at 7 years old for my family and doing laundry and dishes. And I didn't realize that played a huge role in me, in just not getting the childhood that I wanted, because I didn't get to be a kid, because I always had to do everything for everyone else, and so as a result, I felt like I've been very codependent, just always trying to make sure everyone's okay and take care of everybody. And so, yeah, just like giving myself that chance to, like, it's okay to play, like, it's okay to have fun, like you can do that. But it didn't feel okay when I was a kid, you know?
Oh, do I know? Do I? Huh. You know, you got a book in you. I mean, yeah, this is because the world is women are waking up. I mean, that's why that Barbie movie came out. I don't know if you watched it. Did you watch it?
I haven't seen it yet.
Amazing. It's just feminine rising. Okay. And we're 40 years old, we're late 30s, even if you're 20, you know, in your 20s, God, like women that are young, that's in this program. I'm like, you're so smart. Like, can you imagine if you had this, Michele, at 20?
Yes. And in fact, I've had some of those like thoughts about, you know, I've had to like mourn a lot because of realizing, not necessarily what I didn't get as a kid, but how I've treated my own kids. And I just wish, man, I wish I could be, you know, I had this before I had kids, honestly.
Same. Me too. I was like, I wish I'd give anything if I had known this, but it makes for a more yummy story, you know? So it's all good. I think we can all relate with you on that one. I think we've had to all, you know, sit with the guilt, but I just want to say, if anybody feels guilty, you're good, you know, you're good, because that in itself is part of the old story of feeling bad and staying addicted to feeling bad, when really it's like, nope, you're good. Moving forward, it's all good and it's all play. So that's what we're going to stick with. Okay. So how about your partner? Like, how's that dynamic? What does he say about this? I mean, what did he say about you spending thousands and doing this?
So it was funny you say that because I have, I had started a business before and spent about the same amount of money on your program as I did on to get the education I needed to start my marketing business. And so it caught him off guard when I was like, I did it, he was like, what are you going to do about, like, I don't know. I just, I had to, because normally I just try to avoid confrontation with him. And so anything that was like I didn't want to bring anything up. And so I'd always avoid. And so it was like really good experience to like sign up for the program and then be like, okay, guess what I just did today, and he was like, oh, what? Okay. And he wasn't mad about it, but he was surprised. And but he hasn't said that he's noticed changes, but he's also not a person who ever like gives a lot of feedback or validation, which has been a little hard for me in the past. But it's really good practice for me to be like, it doesn't matter what he thinks about it. It doesn't matter if he notices changes. It matters what I think. And I've noticed the changes and I'm proud of myself. So I don't need him to be proud of me anymore like I used to. And so, but yeah. And as far as our relationship goes, I mean, there hasn't been huge changes. I mean, I think the biggest change has been reading that book, Codependent No More.
Oh my God. One of the best.
Yeah. I had no idea. I was totally blind to it. When I did the self-assessment quiz on it and I marked so many things, I was like, this is why I'm so miserable in my marriage, I mean, not miserable, but like just not
happy.
Yeah. And I'm like, I know it could be better. Like, I know it could be better. He's not a bad person. And so I know that we can make it work. And I just kept blaming him for every problem that we had. And it was like, this is not all him. This is me.
So is he, has he said anything or like, wow, that program seems to be working? Or has he said anything or no?
No, he doesn't say anything.
Okay. Well, that's okay.
He has said, oh, you look like I've noticed your weight loss. Like I can tell like your waist looks smaller and, but that's it. But
well, it's all going to unfold. Even it's going to keep getting better and better. As you notice, this program's not like a 6 month, 1 year. I've had women in here for 5 years, because you're not the same person as you were last week. You're not going to be the same person as you were last year.
Exactly. And that was like part of the reason I was like, I can't get on here on a podcast, or I can't like say all the progress I've had. I'm not even there yet, and then it's like, but you can't totally ignore all the things that you have, and so it's been like really good to notice, like, no, it's actually okay to be positive. You don't always have to be negative about yourself, Michele. Like, just look for the good and you'll find it. And so when I did, I was so pleasantly surprised to see like all the changes. And I just know I have years ahead of me of more changes. So
it's only going to get better and better.
Exactly.
It just keeps it's just better and better and better. Because I could sit here and say the same thing. I mean, I'm not at, I'm not at 10 million yet. I don't have my roles yet, or I'm not in the top Fortune 500 yet, yet, what I'm saying? So it's like, I can't imagine waiting, but that's part of the codependency. That's part of the disempowerment is, let me wait till I get the money. Let me wait till I turn into the best, whatever, to write the book. Let me just wait. And it's like, fuck no, you got a story in you right now, because look where you are now compared to where we were 5 years ago, last year. And that's what you build on. So cool. Okay. Okay. Well, let me see. I feel like women have so many questions, but where do you think you'd be right now if you wouldn't have taken action?
Well, I would have more, I believe I would have more physical issues down the road, because just seeing the impact and the release, like the relief that I've gotten from clearing the things that I have and seeing how that makes a difference in my physical, my energy levels. And, it's like, I'm not quite at the age where a lot of health problems start. I mean, I know they can start at any age, but I mean, like, and so I just feel like I have a better trajectory towards my future years, I feel like, remind me of the question again.
If you hadn't joined it, you answered it. You said you would just probably
Okay.
be like, you would have health issues. It would have turned into your trauma or unaddressed shit, or the I'm happy, fake happy, or all that shit would have turned into something.
Yeah. And also the other thing is my relationship with my kids. It's not even where I want it to be, but it's so much better than it was. And I'm just so excited for even more emotional connection. Like it just was such a struggle for me. I could not connect with my kids. I just always felt bothered and annoyed and just like, what do you need again? Why are you so needy? Why do you, just can't you see I'm doing my own thing? Like and now it's like, and so like, to me, that's priceless, like I think of like myself, in two different worlds, like in the world where I don't connect with my kids all growing up, and they leave home and they don't want to connect. Not that I need them to be close to me, but like, I can just see the difference in our relationships when they're grown and they don't actually have to be around me anymore. Like I can just see that, like, we're, doing this and healing my trauma and having a better connection emotionally with my kids now, instead of like, yelling at them, telling them to quit your whining and stop, just denying all their feelings all the time, and actually just listening to them and seeing, like, I can just see this better life for when they leave home and they don't have to be around me anymore, and they'll want to be around, or they'll choose not in like a needy, like they need me, or they're codependent of me, but just
You'll be safe. And it's pollution to not heal and address your shit. And you bring it, like, how dare you or anyone else have children and not become a better person, because they're our future. And if you're just putting the same shit as your parents put in you, and you're not changing and not trying to make more money, to look better, to be healthier, to have your kids grow up in a better environment, better opportunities, like, the fuck are you doing? And that let me say this, people think that, oh, just by keeping your kids busy or because you have more money, that could make a fuck. No, it's you becoming a better version. Like you're saying, if you're noticing that you're triggered or you don't want to spend time, or that's the shit right there. It's becoming an emotionally safe place, because, look around, man. America, we are the most overprescribed, SSRIs, depressed, unhealthy population. And that's why is we don't address that emotional body,
exactly.
So that's huge.
Yeah, we've denied it. It's been denied ourselves as children. And so it's just normal that we would deny everyone else's, it's uncomfortable dealing with other people's emotions when you don't know when you can't even deal with your own, it's like, what am I feeling right now? Why am I stuffing myself with food all the time? Oh, I'm actually frustrated, or I'm actually anxious, like actually addressing, like, what is this emotion I'm feeling right now? Like, I never, ever did that before in my life. So
we're trying to we're addicted. We're trying to feel that dopamine. We're trying to feel oxytocin and these chemical releases that the food gives you. But like you're saying, alcohol, not until you address the reason why you need it, you can give yourself that. And then there you go. You don't even need it anymore. So, okay. What would you say to someone, no, I almost said woman, I don't want to say that, someone who's really hesitant, she's maybe busy, or can this work, or whatever, she's just hesitant about, applying and enrolling, like, what would you say to her?
I would tell her, if you were drawn to this program for some reason, you need to stick with that. I mean, I don't know, I've never, feeling so inspired and led and guided. Like I felt that way before, but I really do feel like I was like, it was a God thing for, like that I was led to you, because I don't know how else I would have found you. And so knowing that like, other women, might have, excuses or reasons to not do it. I feel like, what are the reasons for? I mean, like, focus on the reasons why you feel like you need to, take this direction, because I don't feel like anything is a coincidence. Like, things happen for a reason and people come into your lives for a reason, and you need to embrace that and not push them away. And then also if I can speak on the price thing, I feel like, having spent money on myself before on coaching and things, like just seeing the difference that it made in me, I feel like it was already easy for me to sign up that way. But like, if you have never been coached, it's harder to see that value. And so I feel like the money, when you invest in yourself, you invest in your future and in your children. And so if you think that, oh, I can't spend money on myself, it's so selfish, I just kept thinking about like, no, this is for my family. Like, me being a good person is going to help my family and my, like, everyone around me. And so it's like the least selfish thing you could do actually is to work on yourself. And so yeah, that's what I would say.
Love it. And what's you work out now? Did you work out before the program?
I did. Like, let's see, after child 4, I started working out, and then the pandemic hit, and I had a surprise pregnancy and with baby number 5, and I couldn't consistently work out very often. And then, I mean, just from my own aches and pains or whatever. And then after he was born, I made excuses. I don't even know.
You just don't feel like it. I understand.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't feel like it.
Yeah. And so then I probably, let's see, I joined your program last July. So he would have been almost 1 at that point. And I was like, I think a part of me never wanted to, like with my first, like the first 3 kids, I guess, I was like, why? I knew I wanted to have 4 kids, but I was like, I don't want to work out if I'm just going to like lose it all again and have another baby. And so I was like, I might as well just wait until I'm done, so that's kind of why I started working out after my 4th. But but I was never like, I wasn't making no progress. I had made no like changes in my measurements or anything. And I wasn't changing my diet. I was just changing my workout or just doing a workout. That's all I did. I would just eat healthy and claim that that was good enough, and in the meantime, I was starving, and just binging, at nighttime. And so I couldn't change anything, and everything continued to grow at my waistline and everything. So it was hard to see results. And that's why I was like, I need something a little more specific here, and so yeah, your program definitely helped with that.
Will you give the ladies just one tip on like, what's one thing they can do if they're really busy or don't feel like working out? What's something that really helps you?
I would say the 2 things that I would say 2, because I really, really love yoga, and yoga has been really a game changer for me to just relax my nervous system. I can just taking the deep breaths and feeling the calm energy. Like I feel really grounded when I do it. And also I just really like walk. I've never been a cardio person. And so I mean, not never, but like, I could never get excited about it. So I just like, I know walking is cardio, but I didn't want to run. So I'm just like, walking to me is just peaceful, relaxing, can listen to something I want to listen to and just walk. And bonus if it's outside. So yeah, those are my favorite.
All right. Well, there you heard it. Is there any other tip you feel like you should give women out there who's got a lot on their plate that just needs to take that first step? What would that first step be?
I would say this, and it sounds cliche because I know when I heard it before this program, I didn't give it any much attention, but I would just take better care of myself. Just love myself more. I mean, just do things, little things, like things that you put off doing because you think it's selfish. Just
Like what?
do it. Like painting my toenails, or, like getting dressed up for me instead of other people, or cleaning my house for me instead of other people, or, it's always been about how I can please everyone else. And it's like, no, I'm important. Like, what can I do that I love? Like taking a bath has been awesome. Just like doing little things like hummusing my heels, like,
Love it. I made
yeah.
a post yesterday and I said, if you weren't worried about everybody else, what would you do today? And she's like, oh my God, everybody was like, I needed to hear this. I need to hear this, because it is. If you're not worried about everybody else, what would you do today for you if you weren't worried about anything else? And it's like, okay, that makes it easy. Okay.
Yeah, the resentment is way less when I'm like not angry at everyone because I actually get to do what I want to do. I'm loving me. And so there's more room for me. It's like the whole oxygen mask thing, like I take care of me and then I can take care of everyone else. And so I don't know why I ignored it. I mean, I know I resisted the self-care for so long. I was like, no, this has to happen. And it has made a huge difference.
If anybody's out there right now and they're just in like, this, the reason why it's hard to change is because you're addicted to feeling like shit. It's so familiar that you're just addicted to, you just want to sit in your shit a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. It doesn't mean you're fucked up. It just means that you just want to stay where you're at a little bit longer because you're just not ready yet. And that's okay. That's okay. When the time's right, some people have to have horrible things happen to them, but some people can do it out of bliss and like excitement about growth too. So it's just your choice. Do you want to do it out of trauma and, have everything blow up in your face and then take action? Because that's probably going to happen too. Or, hey, there's this inner knowingness in yourself that's like, I want to be more. Let me go do that. But, you're not doing it out of fear because something bad's going to happen, quote bad. It's just, you can grow out of trauma or grow out of like joy and excitement for the future. So I just wanted to say that. But Michele, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom today. Definitely going to get over the Millionaire Matrix stuff for you, because I really think that, we've had people come in the program. I know Liz is one of them. She came in for eating disorder. She's an RN, got results. And then now she started her own company and has 15 clients. It's just like, what have you transcended and what have you, found? All you got to do is package that up and sell it,
Yeah.
because I can't reach your people. I can reach you, but I can't reach the people's waiting on specifically you. So I encourage all women, if all women would lead with their hearts, which is this, it's finding, helping yourself and then sharing that. Not that you have to, but just you being you and feeling good. Like me, when I start worrying about how am I going to help this person, this client, and get this sale, I fucking lose. But when I'm like, well, what can I do today that makes Casey feel better? I'll do that. And then I'll get ideas and shit just starts happening. It's just because I'm happy. So when you choose you and you become happy, that shit will sell, because other women were where you once were. And now you've got the codes to help them get out of it. And it's worth a lot of money.
Yes, I believe it.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And we'll get this off, and I'll hit you in the DMs on the Millionaire Matrix. And hey, I think that you've just gotten started. I think that you've got, like you said, lots of good shit coming your way.
Awesome. I can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks. Bye.